Hi guys, William here with Patriot Containers again. I'm always thinking about what the purpose of my videos are. Are they to generate more business for me? Are they educational? So to protect people? And in a non-greedy way, all my videos that I've made in the past 3 months or 2 months are literally to expose what the horrible companies are doing to protect you guys as customers from getting ripped off. And if you call me, you call me. If you don't, you don't. If I don't like reading the complaints on these customers of what the horrible companies are doing to you guys. So that being said, if you're new to my channel, I own a cargo container broker company like everybody else does that you talk to on the phone or text. In 10 years of selling these containers, I don't have a single complaint from the business that I provide for my actual customers. I have 3 complaints from 3 people that never bought anything from me. So I used to work for bad companies 12 years ago, and I hated it so much that I started Patriot Containers because I wanted to give people a real service and tell the truth and create repeat buyers and do the right thing for people. That's why Patriot Containers was started. And I don't have a single employee to do anything for me. I do everything other than delivering your container. So my heart means well for my customers. I believe 90% of cargo containers don't give a shit about you guys. That's it. I mean, that's my belief. I'm sure there's all these other companies that think that that's different. But if you read their complaints of what they've done to these customers, it's horrible. So that's why I'm making these videos. I don't think anybody else in this industry is doing videos like this to expose all the sales techniques and all that crap. So the topic of this video is communication. I'm a communicator. I love talking. I probably talk too much, to be honest. But I don't make sales, I make customers. And when I talk to my customers, it's not 100% sell. Sometimes it's just bullshitting and just saying, hey, how's it going? You know, I run a legitimate business and what do you want your container to look like? And I understand that there's people out there that don't like communicating, but I can never control the person calling me. I can only control the person that I am, and I can also control my business. I can run it however I want. I choose to run it the right, honest way. This being said, to keep it on topic about communication, this could apply from the beginning of your order to the middle of your order to the after delivery date. I've read numerous, hundreds actually, of complaints that a lot of these companies that you guys are buying from, they communicate amazingly up until your order happens, and then they're gone because they've already moved on to the next sale. They don't care about you anymore. You've already signed your life away, and you're not really a customer to them. It's kind of like, I don't know, I worked for a company one time, and they told me basically I'll be selling to one person only, and then that's it. And I was like, well, I don't think this is the company I want to work for, so I parted my ways. So number one, when you're buying a container, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I don't think you should buy a cargo container through a text message or through an app. By whoever's typing to you. Number one, you can get scammed that way. Number two, you're not building any type of relationship. So when you talk to these sales reps they're so on the sell mode that they're not really communicating on a personal level. Well, if you don't have a personal level, they don't care about you, and they are only focused on that sale only. There's a big difference between making a sale and making a customer. So again, after reading all these complaints, what these companies do is sell, and then there's zero. I mean, you could reach out to one person, and then 10 other reps will start calling you every single day up until you either buy from somebody else, or you give them the sale. They will call the shit out of you to make that sale, and they don't care how they get it. They'll have 10 different people call you, emails, text messages. It will not stop. And I know this because I've called them. And but the second you give them an order, there is no more communication. And then you're going to be told that you're going to have somebody in the logistics department call you in a specific amount of time, and then they never call you. And then you have to call them, and you're left kind of wondering, like, hey, you called the crap out of me in the beginning, but now you're gone, which is kind of a red flag of a bad company, of what's going to happen after. So I don't know, like, I don't sell containers through text messaging. I only talk to people on the phone because I need to know that person, because I care about that person. And I care about the container that I provide if they give me an order. If they don't give me an order, they're going to buy from somebody else or not buy one at all. So I do believe in communication, but I believe in communication so much that even after your order is done, I keep my customers in the loop. I follow up with them. I check on weather. I check on all this stuff so my customers don't have to call me. I mean, they I get a bunch of reviews of that, how good of a communication that I provide, even after your order, before delivery day, after your delivery. So yeah, I do believe in communication. I think there's some signs though, is when if I don't, this is my opinion, I do not believe you guys should be buying containers through text messaging. It's you can't express enough words in a text message other than just price. Well, if you're only buying from just price, you're going to get a crappy container. So you must talk to these people. Now, if you're talking to these people and they're on just sell, 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 and they're not really communicating anything else, you might want to read their complaints. That's my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot. There's in this industry, there's just not a lot of communication, and that's why there's so many problems, I guess you could say. There's a sale process, and then there's no communication, leaving your customer in the dark, and people complain about that. So my advice as a customer is stop texting and buying through apps and actually call the company. If you watched my videos, ask all the questions that you have learned from my videos and make a relationship with that seller. One thing that I don't understand about the competitors that I'm ragging on all the time, because I think they run a crappy business, they make sales, but they don't make customers that actually, like, if you called me, I would always want you to call me back. I want you to save, and I will never tell you this, but I want you to save my cell phone number in your phone. I've had my cell phone number for 18 years. I'm not going to give it out over YouTube though. But you have my 888 number, and it rings directly to my cell phone number. But yeah, communication goes a long ways. It's amazing to me that you got these bigger companies that have logistics teams, customer service, warranty departments, all this BS, and they can't communicate with you. I just don't find, I'm a one-man show, and I communicate with everybody. And when business was really good for me, I was taking orders, purchasing, scheduling, just communication, like a one-man show, like a well run machine. And if you communicate with your customers correctly and with honesty, you don't have problems. In a way, I'm kind of teaching the companies how to run their business, on how to do it right, and hopefully they do. I highly doubt it, But yeah, communication goes a long way. You should always talk to somebody. You should always get to know that person. See if they actually care about you as a customer. Um, I do understand that people don't want to talk anymore. I don't know why. I blame social media for that. I think it's a lot easier just to text somebody. But I remember working in a company where I was making a ton more money on the phone, but a girl was just doing emails all day long and just constantly responding to emails and emails sent, emails. And she wasn't doing half the work that I was doing. And she was way busier than me. But I told her, I said, why don't you get on the phone and stop emailing? And yeah, for some reason, people nowadays they don't like to use their tongue and their voice and to actually get to know somebody and talk like real human beings. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but if I'm old fashioned and I care about my customers and I want to communicate and do everything right and provide a real service, maybe the new school is text, 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 email, 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 and you get a shitty service. So I believe in total communication. I think you as customers, if the company doesn't want to communicate with you, maybe you need to communicate with that company and say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I demand. Um, I need to talk to somebody about my container. I want to talk about the look of it. I want to talk about the condition of it. I want to know every step of the way and then communicate. Because if you don't communicate, you're going to be left in the dark and you're not going to be provided a real service that you're going to be happy with. You're going to get some shit show that you were not prepared for. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys, have a good one. That one was called communication, blah, blah, blah. May 28th. Have a great one. Bye.